One Piece 881, My Man Jinbei. So the chapter opens up last week where we left off with the Straw Hats in imminent danger from Big Mom and the tsunami. Luffy's freaking out, talking to the Straw Hats. He's like, "What do you mean you guys are done for?" The whole crew, Jinbei, Chopper, Nami, Brook, Carrot, they're all in despair. They're like, "We're not gonna make it." Big Mom, on top of the wave, acting tough, as usual, like a beast. Pearl Sparrow on her shoulder. He's like, "Wait, Mom, if you sink the ship, you're not getting any cake." Big Mom is like, "Wedding cake, I don't care, it's time to go." And in the very next panel, something that seems kind of confusing. When I first saw it, I was looking at the panels and I was like, what is going on? Why are people on top of the, what it looked like was the sail? And Chopper, Carrot, and Brook. I was like, who are these? Why? Like, at first I didn't even recognize Chopper. I was like, what is that little circle on the scale? And I almost missed it. But yeah, so they're on the sail, and I'm like, what is going on? Because in between, we're gonna die, everything is over, there wasn't a gap. Like, it was very, like, oh, here we are. New plan, you know? So Jinbei is like, no, we're not gonna die. That's why I was like, Jinbei is my man, because he's coming up with the plan. So Jinbei's got ropes on him, he's got the sails, he talks to Nami, and he's like, which way is the wind gonna blow? And Nami's like, hey, it's coming from this direction. Jinbei's like, word, got it. And Nami's still trying to figure out what he's gonna do. And then Jinbei, in the solid panels, like, we're going to the green room. And so I'm reading this, I'm like, okay. Something's about to go down. They got a plan. So I'm like, alright, I'm getting invested in the chapter. I'm like, alright, this is pretty decent. All the Straw Hats are on the mast, and they're doing all these directions that we're not told about. Jinbei still hasn't told him his plan, apparently. And so you have Chopper and Brook asking Jinbei, what are you doing? With the ropes, you know, you're steering back towards the wave. I don't want to die. Like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, wait, what's going on? Like, I'm still very confused. So I don't know if that's an issue, if you guys think that wasn't done well. I mean, despite that, the point got across. Because later we find out that Jinbei's green room is actually the center of the wave. So this is like some rocket power type stuff. They're going through the wave. You know, it's really cool. Like, the panel itself, really well drawn. I gotta admit, Jinbei is a beast. He's treating a tsunami like child's play. And you know what? It makes sense because he's a fishman. So it makes sense that Jinbei would be the one to take over the situation dealing with water. And I thought to myself, man, it's a good thing Jinbei doesn't have a devil fruit, because if he did, no way out of the situation at all. So Oda did a really good job at boosting Jinbei's character and showing him off and showing how valuable he is to the Straw Hat crew. After that, you have Pearl Sparrow and Big Mom. They're sitting, assessing the situation. Straw Hat crew apparently escapes. And I'm thinking in my mind, alright, wait, yeah, the tsunami crashed into the water, but that doesn't necessarily mean the Straw Hats are gone, you know. I would like to see a body. If it was my crew and I was trying to take care of, like, if it was my plan and I was trying to take care of my enemy, I would be looking for evidence that they were gone. But apparently everybody agrees that the Straw Hats have been dealt with. So I don't know what Pearl Sparrow and Big Mom are going to do from this point on. Because Big Mom has still not gotten wedding cake. So that means that Big Mom is still in a crazed state. That means she's going to do something crazy still. So she might be on her way back to the island to destroy it, because she thinks that she's destroyed the Straw Hats. You know, what's going to happen to Pearl Sparrow? Because Big Mom's not listening to him anymore. So this might be the end for him. After the Straw Hats escape, Nami proceeds to break all the windows in the Sunigo, and Brûlé is under the impression that the ship has been taken care of. Katakuri's in the back, and he's looking like, this doesn't seem right to me, but he hasn't said anything. So Luffy's trying to be on the slick with his piece of glass, trying to communicate like, hey, what's going on? You guys said that you were done for. I don't know what's happening. And Nami proceeds to answer the piece of glass and starts talking to Luffy. And actually, it wasn't Nami, it was Chopper. Chopper proceeds to tell Luffy about how Jinbei saved them, and then Brook goes on to tell him that they have broken all the mirrors in the ship. After that, Nami proceeds to tell Luffy about the plan that they have to meet Sanji in Cacao Island. But at that point, Katakuri starts to attack Luffy. And the crazy thing is, as soon as Katakuri starts to attack Luffy, Luffy starts covering his mouth. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's scared. He doesn't want Katakuri to see him talking to his crew. You know, he doesn't want him to know that he's communicating with the Straw Hats and the Straw Hats are still okay. So Katakuri punches Luffy and the glass shards break. And it looks like the glass shards broke inside of Luffy's mouth. And Luffy is holding his mouth stretched out. And I'm like, this is really weird. Is he trying to eat the glass? I was like, I didn't know what was going on in that panel. I was like, why is he holding his mouth? And Katakuri proceeds to beat up Luffy, and Luffy continues to hold his mouth. Like, I don't understand. I think it's Luffy trying to hide the fact that he has a shard of glass. And if Katakuri saw that, he would know that Luffy was communicating with his crew. So Luffy continues to dodge while Katakuri continues to advance with the attacks. And then Luffy ends on his knees. Blood on the ground, shards of glass there. Luffy says, hurry up already. I'm gonna die here waiting for you. You know, and that panel was really, it was cool, but it was weird because you had that panel of Luffy really serious, and all of a sudden he's just like, I'm like, what is that? Like, does Luffy have some crazy plan that he's about to execute? I mean, before, he didn't know about Nami's plan to meet on Cacao Island. He didn't know the details. But now that he knows his crew is okay, it looks like Luffy's about to really get serious with this battle. We cut over to Katakuri, and he's still talking smack to Luffy. He's like, guess what? I can see the future. And I know you're about to say you're not going to die here, but do you really want those to be your last words? Luffy looks at him and he's like, I'm not going to die here. And that's the chapter. One Piece on break next week. That's fine. No big deal. I apologize for the sounds and the traffic. I had to go outside to finish this review. That's the end of the chapter. I want to rate it a 6 out of 10. I felt like there could have been more developed in this particular chapter. It was a good chapter, wasn't a gripping chapter like last week was, because there wasn't so much hopelessness in the chapter, you know, but it still has emotion leading forward. Thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. My name is Theory 101, Johnny O Beats, signing off. Have a great day.